35 knockouts, and the only mistake he made in his career was to fight Sanchez here, and of course he was stopped. Now, Chuck Hull with the introductions.
For the WBC Super Bantamweight Championship of the World, introducing in the red corner, fighting out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, weighing 121.75 pounds, the WBC Super Bantam Champion of the World, Wilfredo Lopez. And in the blue corner, he is ranked number 4 by the WBC. He fights out of Culiacan, Mexico. He weighs 121 pounds. Introducing the challenger, Juan Antonio Lopez. 15 rounds of boxing.
And Davy Pearl, who's been involved in many championship fights here in Las Vegas, is the third man in the ring, giving them their WBC final instructions. WBC, of course, this is the championship for that governing body. A 20-foot square ring. The WBC rules, the 10-point must. 3 judges do the scoring, not the referee. You cannot be saved by the bell except after the 15th round. The gloves are 8 ounces, no standing 8, the mandatory 8 on all, and there is no limit to the number of knockdowns in a round. So, in the left corner, at 121 pounds, a veteran of 80 professional fights, 72 wins, and 60 knockouts, Juan Antonio Lopez from Costa Rica, Mexico. Here he comes now, meeting a great champion, Wilfredo Gomez, for the second time. Gomez at 121 3/4, making the weight by 1/4 pound, and that's been one of his problems in the past. Gomez, you will see, is a very bright, intelligent fighter, throws combinations as fast and as beautifully as any fighter, any division. 35 wins, 35 knockouts. And all week long, as you saw, a right-hand lead. Just glance off the chin of Lopez in the orange trunks on the left. He has been upset that he does not get the attention he feels he deserves. So this is an opportunity for him here on the Holmes Cooney fight card and in a championship bout to show all of you, wherever you are, what his skills are. I noticed one thing about his face as he lands a good blow, and it hurt. It landed on the left ear of Lopez. Lopez is a sucker to the right-hand lead, but he also can battle back as a counterpuncher. He is a brawler, carrying the scars of his profession. He has more scar tissue, and he's been on the deck a few times, too, in those 80 fights. A month ago, he had a fight against Tony Villegas in Mexico, scored a 5th-round knockout. At that time, he didn't know that he was going to meet this hard puncher. And here in the first round, he is down for a mandatory 8 count. Davy Pearl giving the count, so Lopez has already felt the sting, the power of the champion's right hand. Back up, he'll shake that off. Here in the first round, we're nearing the late stages of it, scheduled for 15. The sun is not set in Las Vegas as yet, so occasionally a fighter may be partially blinded by a bright sun, which happens to be behind Howard and me as we look on at ringside, and Davy Pearl separates them. We have about 55 seconds now remaining in the first round. 1 knockdown. Gomez, the champion in blue on the right, scoring it. Trying again with a little jab and then throwing that straight right hand. Look at that footwork, and all forward. Very little lateral, but right to the target. This softening left jab being flicked out, and then Gomez, as you can see, wants to impress everybody and try to end it early. Little short punches that is ruled by the referee as a slip. And he did properly by cleaning off the gloves after they touched the canvas. The bell in about 2 seconds. Wilfredo Gomez scoring a knockdown here in the first round. First knockdown of the fight, and it will not be the last. You saw the little jab, and it was an overhand right. He had set him up earlier, softened him with a right hand that caught him right on the ear. And you can imagine what that sounded like in the eardrum. And from another angle here in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace, and we give you even one more. It's Gomez with his back to us. See, it's a flicking jab and then pow. Anywhere he hits you, he's going to hurt you. There you get a look at him. He's 25 years old, a bachelor. He's president of his own company, Bazooka Enterprises. Started out with a 6-round draw in 1974, and he's just gone uphill from there. Tried to step up one notch in weight and go against Salvador Sanchez right here at Caesar's Palace Pavilion, but he was knocked down in the first round, and then he lost it, the only loss and knockout of his career. So here he is back. Here you see his footwork, and it appears now that Lopez is changing his strategy and is going to try to press the fight. I'm not sure that's a good idea because of that right hand that is constantly cocked. There, almost threw it again. Round 2, scheduled for 15. Gomez, one of the few times that he'll miss that combination. 3 judges looking on, 10-point must. And if you just joined us, it was Lopez with his back to us that was down for the mandatory 8 count in the first round. Sun back out from an overcast here in Las Vegas. And we're hoping as it goes down that the temperature will drop. The ring lights have not been turned on, and when they do, it will add some more degrees to this 100-degree temperature that we're experiencing now. Gomez a little over anxious and is becoming very, very inaccurate. The movement of Lopez is not that fast or as often. The last month, Lopez on the far side has had 4 fights, imagine. Came in here as a substitute when Roberto Rubaldino was injured and could not meet Lopez. There's a good right hand. Lopez took it. Good shot to the belly. Did you see that? A right hand to the chin and a left hook to the body. Now that is a combination seldom seen. Coming up to the 1-minute mark of the second round. Pride of Santurce, Puerto Rico, getting hit behind the head and right on the neck. Accidentally, because Gomez stepped inside, and that's where the punch went. Although there are 2 fighters, 2 super bantamweights, 122-pound limit, that have been known to use some tactics other than legal ones. Very gentlemanly. Wilfredo Gomez, the champion. 20 seconds till the end of round 2. And again, Lopez is hurting again from that right hand. Come bombing back on his own. Wilfredo, the defensive ability, snapping away from the punches. Well, it's sundown, but it's Good Morning America. David Hartman is here, Howard, and he looks fit. In fact, he looks trim, probably off the tennis court to watch the big night of boxing in Las Vegas.
Well, he's a jock. He once played shortstop in practice for the San Francisco Giants. David loves sports.
There you see Gomez, his cornerman, Federico Plummer, Fausto Torres. There's a cut man in there, Bill Prezant. You see him with the cap on the far side. He is a very popular one and a very good one. And Jim Stafford can sing and pick a little on that guitar.
They're beginning to arrive now, one after another.
Did I hear you say Blue Eyes was in Atlantic City?
Yep.
Jilly there?
Where else?
Jilly said he could take on both heavyweights the same night. Well, here are 2 super bantamweights that have been there. 80 fights for Lopez on the far side. Only 37 for Gomez, the champion, but 35 wins and 35 knockouts. A loss to Salvador Sanchez and 1 draw. Fought as an amateur, became a Puerto Rican hero. Look at that, snapping away, backing away from possible punches and then picking them off as they're delivered. Davy Pearl.
Come on.
Gomez started out a tremendously fast pace in the first round, scored the only knockdown. Then in the second, slowed it down a bit and didn't look nearly as good, but on my scorecard, 10-point must to the WBC. He won the second without any trouble. Lopez has a habit of being spun and turning his back to an opponent. And there's a shot, a right hand. One of the trademarks of the Mexican lighter boxers, they can take a punch. And a good left hook by Lopez. Jarring Wilfredo. As we looked at Gomez in his corner prior to coming out for the first round, he has high cheekbones, but there looked to be a swollen area there before one punch was thrown, so we'll keep a watch on that. Neither fighter cut, but Lopez has been down. The only effective punch in that exchange was the right hand, like that, to the ear. Another one. Dangerous territory. Lopez trying to get away. 50 seconds remaining in round 3. Las Vegas, big night. Undefeated Larry Holmes, the champion, against the massive challenger, undefeated Gerry Cooney. Good right hand by Lopez. The weakest defense that we've ever seen Gomez put up, because he's being hit too often by a tremendous club fighter. This is only the third round, scheduled for 15. There is a beautiful shot to the side of the chin by Gomez. But look at that Lopez fight back. Okay, the end of round 3. Let's join Bob Sheridan
with
now.
us here, all kinds of celebrities. With me right here is Bill Cosby. Bill, I know you like the little guys. I see you at the fights all the time out here. But what do you think of the big one coming up?
Well, I think that Larry Holmes is going to have trouble moving. He's going to have trouble moving.
That's an unusual thing to say.
I think his feet are going to bother him.
You think the age factor then?
No, I'm not talking about in the later rounds. I'm just talking about, I think he's going to have trouble moving.
Oh, you're picking to win, Bill?
I'm going to pick Cooney on a knockout in the 4th round.
Cooney on a knockout in the 4th round. We'll be moving around the celebrity area throughout the fight.
Okay, back now to the 20-foot square ring where Larry Holmes and Gerry Cooney will go for boxing's most coveted title, a title that, of course, Holmes has held. It'll be his 12th title defense. But of the current champions, the man that has reigned longest and the most title defenses, this is his 15th. In blue, Wilfredo Gomez of Santurce, Puerto Rico. Seeking that knockout. Having fought him 4 years ago and winning in the 7th round, referee stopping the bout. Gomez is perhaps overly confident at this point. And if it was ever a bout he wanted to impress all of you watching at the various locations, whether it's Radio City, Convention Hall, Franklin Field, you name it. Davy Pearl, the referee.
Get your hands off.
You know, turning away from opponent will give you time if the cobwebs are setting in, and I believe they're starting to. But even though he gets shaken from punches, Lopez will fight back. He takes another of a Gomez right hands.
Hold it, keep him up. Come on now, come on. Come on.
That's the voice of Davy Pearl. awkward fighter to fight is Lopez. Look at those flurries. Combination after combination, tripling up on the left hook, then a right hand, another left, then a right. But you got to give Lopez a great deal of credit. He probably has too much courage. He's 30 years old, 5'5" and 3/4. Gomez 5'5" and a half. 122 pounders.
All right, I'm on. Now.
We're in Las Vegas. We have about 40 seconds left in the round. Some of their exchanges are equal. Oh, he is taking a terrible beating, Lopez. Can't take a backward step because he's against the ropes. Pinned there by the champion.
The Don King Sports and Entertainment Network is taking off like a rocket.
The ring, the young lady with the round card, indicating that it is round 5 here of a scheduled 15-rounder. And the heavyweight champion of the world, the WBC champion, there he is. 32-year-old Larry Holmes, a wonderful guy. 212 and a half pounds. 12th title defense for Larry. Going tonight against somewhat of a mystery, Gerry Cooney. But we'll soon find out just what he can do when some great punches are thrown at him. Wilfredo Gomez has proven his ability since 1977, when he won the title over the Korean. 35 wins, 35 knockouts. And we're in the 5th round. He has battered Juan Lopez with his back to us. Scored a knockdown in the 1st round, but Juan has dished it back. And to throw as many punches as Gomez does, he has to be in tremendous condition. Lopez, on the other hand, fights his way into condition. 4 fights in the past month.
No.
This outdoor pavilion on the asphalt-covered Caesars Palace parking lot now beginning to fill up. Seats scaled from $50 to $600. Possibly a record gate. Gomez choosing now to stay inside, shorten up with his punches. Now he's lengthened them a bit with the jab in the right hand. Good picture. But as you can see, Lopez is not a bum in the ring. But he's starting now to look a little weary. 100-degree heat. Biggest target that Lopez gives is his back. Of course, it's illegal to hit there. But he has such a short torso and long arms and can cover up his upper part effectively. And then falls inside, bending over, and it's hard to get a clean shot at him. 40 seconds remaining in the 5th round, scheduled for 15.
Come on. No, don't do that.
That was a Beautifully delivered 1-2. Cocks it, sets it up as perfectly as anyone in the championship ranks today. Here's the champion, my friend Howard Cosell.
Gerry Cooney, #1 ranked heavyweight contender. A young man whose basic reticence and shyness often causes people not to understand that there is a great deal of humor and warmth in this man, and he has not lost his composure in the pre-fight training. Larry Holmes, on the other hand, is living with a great deal of bitterness because he has never gotten the recognition he feels he deserves as a fighter, as a champion. And so, to many around the training camps, he has lost his composure. And if there is a growing doubt about Holmes' ability to win tonight, it is whether or not he has lost a war of nerves and with it his cool.
You're a liar, Howard.
Thanks, Howard. We'll be hearing from Howard later, of course, and we'll be seeing Holmes and Cooney. And, of course, there are two commentators here at ringside that have never underrated Larry Holmes. 12th title defense tonight. That tells you enough. All right. 15th title defense for Gomez, who's having troubles after the first round. 3 straight rounds of trouble. A tiny cut under his left eyebrow. And there's some blood coming from the mouth of his opponent, Juan Antonio Lopez of Mexico, on the right. Davy Pearl says, watch the butts. That was caught on the arm. Lopez threw it. He was looking at the canvas, not at the target. Gomez just bears in. Lopez of Mexico may be one of the hardest bantamweights to hit on the chin. Keeps it chucked in. But listen to those combinations by the champion. Sooner or later, they'll total up.
Take your hands off. Hold it. Nope. Nope.
Well, the voice command didn't do it, so now a little physical labor by Davy Pearl, the referee.
Hold it.
Took a look at a possible cut now.
Get your hands off. One more.
On the bridge of the nose. Both high cheekbones are swollen. Lopez against the ropes. But doesn't he tuck that chin in? It's hard to hit the button. An uppercut might do it. Gomez just tried one. Another one. Again.
Hold it.
And as we're in the 6th round, scheduled for 15, this pace, although it's in close, it may not look as dramatic on the screen where you're watching. It's a tiring pace.
Hold it. No punch. Get out.
Now a big mouse under the left eye of Lopez. He's the challenger, 4th ranked in the WBC.
Keep him up. Keep him up.
This is not one of those fights where the two fighters put daylight between them and you can see what they're doing, but they're both working extremely hard, believe me.
Hold it. Come on out. Come on out. Hold it. No more. No more.
No more. Said with authority from the referee, Davy Pearl.
Hold it up.
And it's the duty of the referee to take charge. He's the man that controls the bout. Reverend Jesse Jackson, Howard. He's a great fight fan, sports fan.
He is that. He was a great athlete himself. More than that, he's memorable to sports people for his remarkable eulogies for Joe Louis and Jackie Roosevelt Robinson. He's talking to the cause right now. He's also great at histrionics, Jesse. Marvelous voice variety. Rises to heights of eloquence and then can shift immediately to a slight dramatic whisper. Rivet your attention.
2 talented communicators over there.
Yes, the cause is great.
20 by 20, that's the ring
But
here.
this fight is not, Chris, frankly.
Okay. Well, it's more of a pure brawl. It's mauling and throwing punches. Perhaps Gomez, the champion, as we look at the promoter, the executive producer of this telecast, the ever colorful Don King. So we come out now for the 7th round. One knockdown, that was in the first round, when Gomez was able to set up his more experienced opponent, challenger Juan Antonio Lopez of Mexico. He doesn't provide much of a target. And always dangerous, don't forget, Lopez, because he scored 60 knockouts. Now under the right eye, red and swollen area, sustained by the champion on the far side. Those jabs now, he's not flicking them out there. He's just pushing them, not throwing them. Maybe a sign that the champion is getting tired.
No more.
Well, Davy Pearl having trouble with this street fight. And they have not used much of the roped square here in Las Vegas.
Watch your head.
Got a butt warning. Lopez is great at telegraphing a right hand. Just tells you it's coming. But Gomez, the hard hitter, can't deliver the knockout combination. Most times he improves as the rounds unfold. Some very short right hands. Blood coming from the mouth of Lopez again.
Hold it up.
What was a great matchup 4 years ago in Puerto Rico is slowly turning into a dull affair. Again, I point out, it is hot. For Las Vegas, 18 or 20 degrees humidity, which is a lot. But the ring lights have yet to be turned on. So that's not adding to the temperature, which has now dropped to 92 degrees. And we're a little after 6:30 in Las Vegas. Gomez now is no longer throwing those beautiful combinations. Just tattooing leather on his opponent's body and face with very little force.
Come on.
They both need a rest, and they'll get it in about 15 seconds. So will the referee. Okay, Gomez coming now back to his corner. And it's a very quiet corner. Bill Prezant, who will be working in Larry Holmes' corner as the cut man, is now doing a little patchwork. That's Prezant on the left with the Q-tip in over his right ear. And using a new device to take down a swollen area under the left eye of Juan Antonio Lopez of Mexico. He has only 2 cornermen. Michael Landon is here, Howard.
Say hello.
Some changes have been made. Well, all you fight fans, wherever you are, I'm sure you hope that the action in this fight will change, that the champion will perform as he usually does. Wilfredo Gomez in the blue trunks. For Wilfredo, he had a 6-round knockout in his last fight. May have left it all there against the number 8 ranked contender, Juan Meza. There he is back upright now again. And there have been more warnings than heavy punches landed. One thing we noticed when fighters have come into the ring and get under the 30 by 30 or 40 by 40 canvas high over our head, they sort of go, meaning that it's hot. Pretty good right hand by Lopez that time. Infuriated the champion. Maybe he'll open up now and get away from him so he can find some punching room. That was a light left hand, but Lopez was off balance. One knockdown, first round. We thought there'd be more. Abrasion now on the right cheekbone of the champion Gomez. Two illegal punches, not noticed by the referee, and Lopez shakes it off. El Rabbit. That's more like Lopez, getting back a little punching room. But you wonder how someone like Lopez, after 80 professional fights, can take so many punches. It's the accumulation here in this case. It was a solid punch in the first round that put him down.
Come on, no. Hold it. Get out.
Sneaky puncher is Lopez, especially when he gets on the ropes.
Hold it. Come on. Hey, get out.
We'll have the bell round 8 in 20 seconds. Those are a lot of punches. Lopez infuriated. Well, maybe he'll bring it out in the 9th round.
The Don King Sports and Entertainment Network is taking off like a rocket with exciting monthly fights live on cable TV. On July 21st, Salvador Sanchez versus Mario Miranda for the WBC Featherweight Championship of the World. Live from Madison Square Garden. Don't miss the knockout entertainment month after month after month. Brought to you exclusively by the Don King Sports and Entertainment Network. Call now for complete details.
Marjo Gardner, another of the show business folks that have come into Las Vegas, Nevada for a big night in boxing because it's Larry Holmes' 12th title defense against Gerry Cooney, who weighed in at 225 and a half. At 125 3/4, the WBC Super Bantamweight champion Wilfredo Gomez against the difficult to fight and figure out number 4 ranked Juan Antonio Lopez. I think the champion Gomez has forgotten what he was like in the 4 years when they first met. Now he's back up in the classic style, feet wide apart and set to throw heavy leather. But falling inside, that is a Lopez tactic. 9th round. Gomez just having terrible time finding the target. Just when he thinks he has it, Lopez bends at the waist, in forward toward the champion's chest, and there's nothing there. And remember, it's hot.
Come on. Hold it. Come on. Ho. Get out.
Lopez is battered, but there's so much scar tissue around his eyes and on his cheekbones that with a pummeling that he's taken here, the areas swell up very, very fast. There now, digging that left to the body. How about a right uppercut? Tempting, tempting. Two good right hands in that flurry of punches. Larry Holmes and Gerry Cooney coming up here for the World Heavyweight Championship. All the speculation has ended. The accusations have stopped. It should be a tremendous bout as we have about 25 seconds remaining in the 9th round of this scheduled 15-round title bout. And these two super bantamweights certainly need a 1 minute rest. Let's go to Bob Sheridan.
With me is Mrs. Cooney. Certainly this is the biggest night of your life.
It sure is.
What's it like being the mother of the fellow that could be the next heavyweight champion of the world?
I don't know. I just want him to get what he wants out of this, and I'll be happy.
Could you express for us just a little bit of what it's like to be the mother of the fellow that might be the new champ?
Well, that's a mother that's pretty proud, I'll tell you that.
How about the fears of him getting hurt?
That a little bit, too.
Mrs. Cooney.
Thank you.
And Howard, there is one of the sons.
That's the way he's been behaving these last 10 days. And he's well within himself. Larry Holmes, I've never seen him more resolute, more determined.
Larry, you can't believe that. All right. Well, they'll be out here in this 20-foot square ring soon from Las Vegas. Right now, it's round 10 of a scheduled 15 round. World Super Bantamweight Championship. Super meaning only the weight class, which is a limit of 122 pounds. First round was super. It's been a pummeling and a mauling and a ducking and a catching. Not heavy punches, but it's going that way for about 8 rounds. Wilfredo Gomez, the champion. The blue truck still trying to put Lopez away. He did it 4 years ago in 7 rounds. But we're in the 10th.
Hold it up. No more.
I have to wonder, Chris, if Gomez punched himself out in this heat early.
A body punch, a left hook, Howard, a solar plexus, and that is one of the hard punches to absorb. Mandatory 8, second time.
Well,
that's over.
Davy Pearl stopping the Pearl. That was a short left. Suddenly Lopez went down. You established earlier the trademark of Mexican fighters is their ability to absorb punishment. He certainly did that, but Gomez, maybe Sanchez took something out of Gomez because he did not look overwhelming tonight, as he has in the past.
Only in the first round, when he put together those crisp combinations, finally decking with the right, and it was a left really dug into the body that ended it here in the 10th round. Let's look at it again. Now watch. He set him up with a little jab, and there is the left. Then he comes over the top with an overhand left, and Davy Pearl wisely stepping in as we get another angle. You see the little left jab, bringing the right hand of Lopez up, and it exposed that side of the body, and believe me, the way he dug it in there, that would put anybody on the deck. So Wilfredo Gomez, 36th win, his 36th knockout. His only loss, a knockout by Salvador Sanchez, a 102 technical knockout in round 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 1 minute, 2 seconds of the 10th round. The winner by a knockout and still WBC Super Bantamweight Champion of the World, Wilfredo Gomez.
successful 15th title defense. You see his WBC World Championship belt. Manuel Ortiz was a great bantamweight. He defended his title 21 times, but the champion of them all was Joe Louis, who defended his title 26 times.